The restaurant was filled with elegance. Crystal lights. Soft music. Important people watching from every corner. At the center of it all. A table for two. A single dad sat quietly. Well-dressed. Calm. His name was Adrian. Across from him. A confident, successful woman. A rising executive. Tonight was supposed to be special. But something felt off. She leaned back in her chair. Eyes cold. "I can't do this anymore," she said. The words cut clean. No warning. No softness. Adrian didn't react immediately. Just listened. "I thought I could overlook things," she continued. "But I can't marry someone like you." The table went silent. Nearby guests began to notice. "Like me?" Adrian asked calmly. She sighed. Almost impatient. "You're a single dad," she said. "You have responsibilities, limitations, complications." Every word. Carefully chosen. Every word. Public. People were watching now. Whispers began. Adrian glanced around briefly. Then back at her. "And that's a problem?" he asked. She didn't hesitate. "Yes," she said. Then, without warning, she removed the ring from her finger and placed it on the table. The soft sound echoed louder than it should have. Gasps spread quietly across the room. Because this was not private anymore. "This isn't the life I want," she added. Adrian looked at the ring. Still untouched. Then back at her. No anger. No embarrassment. Just stillness. "Are you sure?" he asked. She nodded firmly. "I've worked too hard to settle," she said. Settle. The word lingered. Heavy. Adrian leaned back slightly. Finally. He spoke again. "All right," he said. Simple. Unexpected. She frowned slightly. Confused by his calm reaction. "That's it?" she asked. Adrian nodded once. "That's it," he replied. A pause. Then. He reached into his jacket. Not for the ring. But for something else. A slim folder. He placed it gently on the table. Between them. "What's this?" she asked. "Something you should see," he said. She hesitated. Then opened it. At first. Confusion. Then. Her expression changed. Because inside were ownership documents. Legal papers. Signatures. And at the top. A company name she knew very well. Her company. Her face went pale. "This isn't funny," she whispered. Adrian met her eyes. Calm as ever. "I'm not joking," he said. Silence fell over the entire room. Because the man she had just rejected wasn't who she thought he was, the noise of the restaurant faded into the background. For her. Everything went silent. Her hands trembled slightly. Still holding the documents. This isn't possible," she said. Adrian remained calm. "It is," he replied. She flipped through the pages again. Faster this time. Ownership transfer. Majority shares. Final signature. His name. Adrian Hale. Her breath caught. "You own the company?" she whispered. Adrian nodded once. "Yes." A pause. "Majority stake," he added. The words hit harder. Because that meant control. Power. Authority. Her authority. Gone. "But, you never said anything," she said. Adrian looked at her steadily. You never asked, he replied. The same quiet truth. Again. She leaned back, trying to process everything. You let me talk like that, she said slowly. Adrian didn't interrupt. You let me humiliate you, she added. A long pause. Then he spoke. I let you be honest, he said. That answer cut deeper than anger ever could. Because it meant this was who she really was. Not pressured. Not forced. Just revealed. Around them, people were pretending not to watch. But everyone was listening. She closed the folder slowly. Her confidence gone. Replaced by uncertainty. Why? She asked. Why what? Adrian replied. Why didn't you tell me who you were, she said. Adrian glanced at the ring on the table. Then back at her. Because I wanted to know who you were, he answered. Silence. Heavy. Unavoidable. Her throat tightened slightly. I'm not, like that, she said. Adrian didn't argue. Didn't agree either. You made your choice, he said calmly. The finality in his voice. Clear. She looked at the ring. Then at him. Regret flickered. Small. But real. Adrian, she started. But he raised his hand slightly. Stopping her. Not harsh. Just firm. No, he said quietly. A pause. Don't change your answer now, he added. The word settled in. Because he wasn't interested in excuses. Or reversals. Only truth. She looked down. For the first time that night. Speechless. Because for the first time. She wasn't in control anymore. The restaurant slowly came back to life. But their table remained frozen in time. She stared at the ring. Still lying between them. A symbol. Of a future she had just rejected. Adrian stood up calmly. No rush. No anger. Just quiet finality. Wait, she said quickly. Her voice. No longer confident. No longer sharp. Just, uncertain. Adrian paused. But he didn't sit back down. You didn't tell me everything, she said. He looked at her. What would that have changed, he asked. She hesitated. Because now. She didn't have an answer. It would have been different, she said softly. Adrian nodded slightly. That's exactly why I didn't, he replied. Silence. Because the truth was uncomfortable. He reached for the folder. Closing it neatly. Business will continue as usual, he said. Your position stays, if your work deserves it. Her eyes widened slightly. You're not firing me, she asked. Adrian shook his head. This isn't personal anymore, he said. It's professional. A pause. But understand something, he added. His voice. Still calm. But firmer now. Respect isn't based on titles, he said. And neither is character. The word stayed with her. Because she knew. He was right. She looked at him. Really looked this time. Not at his status. Not at his hidden wealth. But at the man she had misjudged. I was wrong, she said quietly. Adrian didn't respond immediately. Then. He nodded once. Most people are, sometimes, he said. A familiar line. But now it meant more. He picked up the ring. Looked at it briefly. Then placed it back in her hand. Keep it, he said. She frowned slightly. Why? She asked. So you remember this moment, he replied. Not cruel. Not kind. Just honest. A pause. Then. He turned to leave. No dramatic exit. No looking back. Just a man walking away. With his dignity untouched. She sat there. Still. Holding the ring. Feeling the weight of her decision. Around her. People resumed their conversations. But for her. Everything had changed. Because success. Had blinded her. And truth. Had revealed her. Across the room. Adrian stopped briefly. Pulling out his phone. A photo appeared on the screen. His daughter. Smiling. He smiled too. Because in the end. That was what mattered. Not power. Not control. But knowing exactly who you are. When everything else is stripped away. And as he walked out. He didn't lose anything. Because the person who walked away. Was the one who truly understood value.